Welcome to Heartline Stories. Today's story follows a billionaire who hires a janitor as his wife for 15 days, thinking it's just a fun experiment. Little does he know, his life will change forever. What unexpected twists will unfold in this tale of love, kindness, and transformation? Stay tuned to find out. Let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Once upon a time, in a big city, there lived a billionaire named Michael. He was very rich and owned many companies, but he was also very lonely. Michael spent most of his time working, and he didn't have any friends or family to share his life with. One day, Michael had a strange idea. He wanted to see what it would be like to live a simple life, like a normal person. So he came up with a plan. He decided to hire someone to be his wife for 15 days. This person would have to live with him and do all the things a wife would do, like cooking and cleaning. Michael thought this would be a fun experiment. Michael went to one of his buildings and found a janitor named Amy. Amy was a kind and hard-working woman who always had a smile on her face. She lived a simple life and didn't have much money, but she was happy with what she had. Michael asked Amy if she would like to be his wife for 15 days. At first, Amy thought it was a joke, but when Michael explained his plan, she agreed. Michael promised to pay her a lot of money, and Amy thought it would be an interesting experience. The next day, Amy moved into Michael's huge mansion. She couldn't believe how big and beautiful it was. There were so many rooms and everything was shiny and new. Amy started her new job as Michael's wife. She cooked delicious meals, cleaned the house, and even helped Michael with his work. As the days passed, something surprising happened. Michael started to feel happy. He enjoyed spending time with Amy and learning about her life. They talked and laughed together, and Michael realized that money wasn't everything. He saw how Amy found joy in simple things, like taking a walk in the park or reading a good book. Amy also started to see a different side of Michael. She realized that he wasn't just a rich and powerful man. He was also kind and caring. She enjoyed helping him and making him smile. One day, as they were having breakfast together, Michael asked Amy, "Why are you always so happy?" Amy smiled and said, "Happiness isn't about having a lot of money or fancy things. It's about being grateful for what you have and finding joy in the little things." Michael thought about this and realized that Amy was right. He started to see the world in a different way. He appreciated the small things in life and found happiness in being with Amy. But their 15 days were coming to an end. On the last day, Michael and Amy decided to have a special dinner to celebrate their time together. They cooked a delicious meal and set the table with candles and flowers. As they ate, they talked about all the things they had learned from each other. After dinner, they went for a walk in Michael's beautiful garden. The moon was shining, and the stars were twinkling in the sky. Michael turned to Amy and said, "These past 15 days have been the happiest days of my life. You've taught me so much about happiness and love." Amy smiled and replied, "I'm glad I could help. You've shown me that even the richest people need love and kindness in their lives." Michael took a deep breath and said, "Amy, I don't want this to end. I know our agreement was for 15 days, but I've realized that I don't want to go back to my old life. Will you stay with me, not just as a part of an experiment, but because we make each other happy?" Amy was surprised. She hadn't expected this at all. She thought about how much she had enjoyed her time with Michael and how much she had grown to care for him. She looked into his eyes and saw that he was sincere. "Michael," she said softly, "I would be happy to stay with you, but we need to take things slowly. Let's see where this journey takes us." Michael nodded and smiled. He knew that Amy was right. They had started as an experiment, but now they had a real chance at happiness together. They walked back to the house hand in hand, feeling hopeful and excited about the future. And so, Amy and Michael began a new chapter in their lives. They faced challenges and learned more about each other every day. Little did they know, their story was just beginning, and they had many more adventures ahead of them. Amy and Michael's new life together was filled with many discoveries. Michael continued to find joy in the simple moments, like enjoying breakfast together or taking walks in the park. He also started to spend more time with his employees, showing kindness and appreciation for their hard work. This made his companies even more successful, as his employees were happier and more motivated. Amy, on the other hand, began to explore new hobbies. She took up gardening and filled Michael's mansion with beautiful flowers and plants. She also started a small cooking club with some of the other employees, sharing her delicious recipes and bringing people together. One day, as they were enjoying a quiet evening at home, Michael asked Amy, "What do you think about helping me with my charities? I think you have a special gift for bringing people together and making them happy." Amy was thrilled by the idea. She loved helping others and thought it would be a wonderful way to use her skills. Together, they started working on various projects, like building schools and hospitals for those in need. Amy's kindness and Michael's resources made a huge difference in the lives of many people. As time went on, Amy and Michael grew even closer. They learned to trust and support each other through the ups and downs of life. They faced challenges together and celebrated their successes as a team. One evening, as they were watching the sunset from the balcony, Michael turned to Amy and said, "I can't believe how much my life has changed since you came into it. You've taught me so much about happiness, love, and kindness. I can't imagine my life without you." Amy smiled and replied, "You've changed my life too, Michael. I'm so grateful for everything we've experienced together. I feel like we've created something truly special." Michael took Amy's hand and said, "I know our journey started as an experiment, but it's become so much more. I want us to continue building our life together, one day at a time." Amy nodded, feeling a sense of warmth and love in her heart. She knew that their adventure was far from over and that they had many more wonderful moments to share. Amy and Michael's journey together continued to unfold in beautiful ways. They discovered new passions and hobbies, and their bond grew stronger every day. Amy's genuine warmth and kindness had a profound impact on Michael, and he started to see the world through a new lens. One sunny afternoon, Michael and Amy decided to visit a nearby orphanage. Michael had always donated money to various charities, but he had never taken the time to visit and see the impact of his donations firsthand. Amy suggested that they could spend the day with the children, playing games and reading stories. When they arrived at the orphanage, the children greeted them with excitement. Amy and Michael spent the day playing soccer, drawing pictures, and sharing laughter with the kids. Michael was deeply moved by the children's joy and resilience. He realized that there was so much more he could do to help them. That evening, as they were driving back home, Michael said, "Amy, today was incredible. I've never felt so connected to the people I'm helping. I want to do more for these children. Let's start a program to support their education and well-being." Amy's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "That's a wonderful idea, Michael. We can create scholarships, provide school supplies, and even organize fun activities for them." It will make a huge difference in their lives." Michael nodded, feeling a sense of purpose he had never experienced before. With Amy's support, they began planning their new program. They worked tirelessly to ensure that the children had everything they needed to succeed and thrive. As the months passed, their program grew, and they received letters from the children thanking them for their generosity and support. Michael and Amy's hearts were filled with happiness, knowing that they were making a positive impact on so many lives. One evening, as they were sitting by the fireplace, Michael turned to Amy and said, "You know, this all started as a simple experiment, but it's become the most meaningful journey of my life. I can't thank you enough for showing me the true meaning of happiness and love." Amy smiled and replied, "Michael, you had all the tools to make a difference. You just needed to see the world through a different perspective. I'm grateful that we found each other and that we can make a positive impact together." Michael took Amy's hand and said, "I promise to continue this journey with you, one step at a time, making the world a better place for everyone we meet." And so Amy and Michael's adventure continued, filled with love, kindness, and the promise of many more beautiful moments to come. One day, Michael and Amy were invited to a charity event hosted by one of Michael's business partners. The event was to raise funds for building a new community center. Michael and Amy were excited to attend and support the cause. At the event, Michael introduced Amy to his friends and colleagues. Everyone was impressed by her kindness and warmth. They could see how much Michael had changed since Amy came into his life. He was more relaxed and genuinely happy. During the event, Michael's business partner, Mr. Thompson, approached them and said, "Michael, I must say, I've never seen you so happy. Amy, you have a remarkable ability to bring out the best in people." Amy smiled and replied, "Thank you, Mr. Thompson. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm grateful for all the experiences we've had together." Mr. Thompson nodded and said, "I have a proposal for both of you. I recently acquired a small island that I'm planning to turn into a retreat center for children in need. I would love for you both to be involved in this project. Your dedication and passion for helping others would make a huge difference." Michael and Amy exchanged excited glances. They loved the idea of creating a safe and nurturing space for children. They immediately agreed to join the project and began brainstorming ideas for the retreat center. As they worked on the project, they visited the island frequently. They envisioned a place where children could play, learn, and grow in a supportive environment. Amy suggested building a large garden where the children could plant their own vegetables and flowers. Michael proposed creating a library filled with books and learning materials. The island soon became a beautiful oasis of hope and joy. Children from all over came to the retreat center to find solace and happiness. Michael and Amy spent their days teaching, playing, and making memories with the children. The retreat center became a beacon of light in the lives of many young ones. One evening, as they were watching the sunset on the island, Michael turned to Amy and said, "I never imagined that my life would take such a wonderful turn. You've shown me that true happiness comes from giving and sharing with others." Amy smiled and replied, "Together we've created something truly special. I'm so grateful for every moment we've shared and for the love and happiness we've found." Michael nodded, feeling a deep sense of contentment. He knew that their journey was far from over and that there were many more adventures ahead. Hand in hand, they walked along the beach, ready to face whatever the future held. Michael and Amy's lives became even more intertwined with the community they had helped build. They found joy in the everyday moments of teaching, playing, and sharing stories with the children. Each day brought new adventures and heartwarming experiences. One sunny afternoon, the children at the retreat center planned a surprise for Amy and Michael. They wanted to show their appreciation for everything the couple had done for them. With the help of some staff members, the children organized a special event in the garden filled with colorful decorations, music, and homemade gifts. When Michael and Amy arrived at the garden, they were overwhelmed with joy. The children had put so much effort into making the event special. There were hand-painted signs, balloons, and a stage where the children performed songs and dances. Amy's heart swelled with happiness as she watched the children's smiles and heard their laughter. After the performances, one of the older children, named Lily, stood up and said, "Mr. Michael and Miss Amy, we wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us. You've given us a place to call home, and you've shown us what it means to be loved and cared for. We made these gifts for you to show our gratitude." Each child presented Michael and Amy with a handmade gift. There were drawings, bracelets, and little notes filled with heartfelt messages. Michael and Amy were deeply touched by the children's kindness. They hugged each child and thanked them for their beautiful gifts. As the sun set, Michael and Amy sat together on a bench in the garden, reflecting on the day's events. Michael turned to Amy and said, "Today was truly special. These children have brought so much joy into our lives. I feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves." Amy nodded, her eyes shining with emotion. "Michael, this retreat center has become a second home for us. The love and happiness we've found here are priceless. I'm so grateful for every moment we've shared." Michael took Amy's hand and said, "I feel the same way. Let's continue to make a difference in the lives of these children and create a legacy of love and kindness." And so, Michael and Amy's journey continued, filled with love, laughter, and the promise of many more beautiful moments to come. Michael and Amy continued to pour their hearts into the retreat center, creating a haven for the children who needed it most. Their days were filled with laughter, learning, and the simple joys of everyday life. The children thrived in the loving environment, and Amy and Michael felt a deep sense of fulfillment. One morning, as Michael was reading the newspaper in the garden, he received an unexpected phone call from his old friend, David. David was a successful entrepreneur who had always admired Michael's business acumen. He had heard about the retreat center and was curious to learn more. "Michael, I've been hearing incredible things about the retreat center you and Amy have built. I'm truly impressed by what you've accomplished. I'd love to visit and see it for myself," David said. Michael was delighted by the interest. "David, we'd be honored to have you visit. Come over this weekend and we'll give you a tour." That weekend, David arrived at the island and was warmly welcomed by Michael and Amy. They showed him around the retreat center, explaining the various programs and activities they had implemented for the children. David was amazed by the positive impact the center was having on the children's lives. As they walked through the garden, David said, "Michael, this is truly remarkable. I never imagined you'd leave your corporate world behind to create something so meaningful. You've inspired me to think about how I can give back too." Michael smiled and replied, "It's all thanks to Amy. She showed me that true happiness comes from helping others and making a difference in their lives. We found a new purpose here, and it's been the most rewarding journey." David nodded thoughtfully. "I'd like to support the retreat center in any way I can. Let's discuss how we can collaborate and expand this wonderful initiative." Over the next few weeks, David worked closely with Michael and Amy to develop new projects and secure additional funding for the retreat center. With David's support, they were able to build more facilities, hire more staff, and create even more opportunities for the children. As the retreat center continued to grow, Michael and Amy's bond grew stronger. They faced challenges together, celebrated successes, and found joy in the simple moments of life. Their love and dedication to the children created a ripple effect, inspiring others to join their cause and make a positive impact. One evening, as they sat by the campfire with the children, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories, Michael turned to Amy and said, "We've come so far since the day we started this journey. I couldn't have done it without you." Amy smiled and replied, "Michael, this has been a team effort. Together we built something truly special, and I know there are many more adventures ahead." And so Amy and Michael's journey continued, filled with love, hope, and the promise of a brighter future for all those they touched. Years passed, and Michael and Amy's retreat center became renowned for its positive impact on children's lives. They had built a loving community where children could grow, learn, and feel safe. The couple's dedication to their cause inspired many others to contribute, ensuring the center's continued success. One day, as Michael and Amy were walking through the garden, they were approached by Lily, the girl who had given the heartfelt speech during the surprise event. She was now a young adult, having grown up at the retreat center. "Mr. Michael, Miss Amy," Lily began, "I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and so many others. Because of your love and support, I was able to pursue my dreams. I'm now studying to become a teacher, and I hope to come back and work here someday." Michael and Amy were filled with pride and joy. They knew that their efforts had made a lasting difference in the lives of many children. As they continued their walk, Michael turned to Amy and said, "We've come a long way since that first day. Our journey has been filled with challenges and triumphs, but the love and happiness we've found have made it all worthwhile." Amy smiled and replied, "I couldn't agree more, Michael. Our adventure may have started as an experiment, but it became a beautiful journey of love, kindness, and making a difference. I'm grateful for every moment we've shared." Michael and Amy knew that their story was one of hope and inspiration. They had created a legacy that would continue to touch the lives of many children for years to come. Hand in hand, they walked into the future, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead. And so, their journey ended, but the impact of their love and kindness lived on, forever changing the lives of those they had touched. Thank you for joining us on this Heartline journey. Sometimes the simplest moments bring the greatest joys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.